very warm good morning to everyone. So, we at the NCOA TSCI, we are conducting this sessions for the Cybersecurity Awareness Month, and this is our third session, which is Women Entrepreneurs and Research in Cybersecurity. We have conducted so many sessions, and but the most exciting part of this session, which is on the women for the women, is what excited everyone. And I guess everyone in the audience is also, we are so excited to and very much encouraged. They are motivated to hear all the special speakers we have today in the women entrepreneurship in cybersecurity, basically, which is still a field which we have to work on a lot, and it is blooming, no doubt, but still women and girls, we motivate them to participate, to come ahead in cybersecurity and work in this technology field. So to start with, we have Pratibha Malik. She is the co-founder of Secura, which is a unified technology automation platform. And earlier she was in Thales as senior principal manager. So welcome, Pratibha. We also have Lakshmi Daj. She is also co-founder of Prophase, which is the first real-time automated cloud security. And she also has a 10 years of experience in development operations. We have Rupal Mathur. She's the co-founder of Simplify, which is also again a product development company and a pioneer in building, which is world's first trade financing platform on blockchain and artificial intelligence solution for blockchain and trade finances. So welcome to all of you. We also have Jancy Jules with us, but due to last minute meeting, she'll join us late. So to start with, let us our audience would like to know about your experiences. How did you come in this field, and how can we I think the main topic can be, how can we break the stereotype where everyone thinks that women are not that much into cybersecurity. Women are not whenever we think that some hacker is there, someone very much high in technology is there with good knowledge, it's only going to be men. But we have seen, and the research says that women are leading the technology development, technology field, not only in technology field, in any field. As an entrepreneur, women are leading and they are succeeding. So let's first know your stories, and then we'll discuss about the other things. Pratibha, can we start with you? You're not audible. Okay. Um, I can't hear you, Pratibha. Is it only me, Lakshmi and Rupal? Can you hear Pratibha? Is it a problem from my side? So, Lakshmi, can we start with you then? Pratibha and meanwhile, can look at her. So, Lakshmi, this cloud security platform, because earlier, as a technology.
Yeah.
Am I audible?
Yeah. Yes. No, there was a provision issue with unmuting our audios. Yes. Now it's fine.
So, as the technology was in the development phase, and cloud as a platform was itself a new theory for people, new platform to know, then how come you led this thing that in cloud security we have to cloud security is a thing and you can start anything in cloud security? How did that happen? It will be an interesting story, I'm sure.
Yes. So Niharika, thanks for having me here. First of all, let me thank NCOE folks for inviting me for this session. So I find it like a real good privilege to be here talking to the other women co-founders and hearing their stories as well. Yes, coming on to your question, so which is really good one. So earlier, like, when we were all in the very early stages of technology, like nobody, like cloud shifting or migrating to cloud was like, everybody was thinking of it in a very skeptical way, like should they be on cloud, how would they be secure on the cloud? mean, because it's kind of an open platform to anybody, so
Very new
there were a
concept.
lot of yes. So that was one thing that everybody was having doubts about, and banking, organizations or those who are into fintech, who's like dealing with very critical data, confidential data, they hesitated to be actually on cloud. So even now we hear that most of their infrastructure they're still on premise, and they're trying to migrate, or maybe now they might have moved on to the hybrid mode. uh, yeah, so but the best part of it is like to scale up your business, and to have a real good audience, and the best part is to use the cloud infrastructure, especially now, the post pandemic. Now, there was a huge migration to cloud. Everybody was shifting to cloud because of the massive digitization that happened, and it was, you couldn't avoid being there on the cloud. So this is a good sign that we are progressing really well. And security was becoming a very important aspect because of this cloud migration that happened. There were a lot of misconfigurations and open vulnerabilities which had to be addressed by someone. So this is when we were actually working with an international client. There was issues where the container security or the cloud native security was not being addressed by any of the other vendors globally.
Right.
So
Yeah.
while solving this issue for that client, we thought, okay, it's good to come up with the solution into the market, because this is something that we're bridging. This is a real time scenario. This is a market gap that we have identified, and none of the decade or vendors who are there into the cloud security market have addressed this. Okay, so now why not we address it? So this is where we became like one of the first, from India to, I mean, not even from India, globally, to address this issue. So that's how we
Nice.
came out with our product called Prophase Web Application Firewall, which is world's first web application firewall to be architected on Kubernetes. So this is a purely cloud native version that we've launched, and is really helping people to be secure on cloud. So whichever cloud your application is hosted on, we can secure it on the same instance, so that the latency of the traffic is like minimized. And so in that way, we also comply to all the GDPR and other compliances that are there worldwide. This is something that a very serious issue that we've tried to solve, and we're getting a lot of appreciations from across the globe, because we are a step ahead in terms of technology. So that is something that we are proud that we could contribute to the cloud security market as an Indian player.
Yeah, right. So Lakshmi, what your experience says that so many years in the security technology development and cloud security, not only cyber security, any technology development in your field, wherever you have worked. So have you seen in the last few years or couple of years any progress in women participating there? And have you done anything like within your company, in your startup? Have you made some rule or some clauses that this should be the ratio, or how women can be motivated to come and join?
Yeah, so definitely. So because the past, during, I mean, there were many other sessions that we've attended, a few interviews that have been in the DD. What I always love to see more women entrepreneurs coming into the same space, because whenever we go to events or some conferences, we see that we may be the only lady in that space, especially the cybersecurity space. So it's very, it's very important that we encourage more women to be a part of this ecosystem. And in our organization, Propace, we kind of have like a 50-50 ratio, because we try to maintain that, because it's not just guys who are who should be actually coming up in security. So when I started my career with Infosys into their banking sector, and we've had this talks and discussions on why women is not rising up into the management or the leadership roles. I mean, there were a lot of discussions and feedback given by people. So that kind of made me thinking, and I've even wrote to the CEO, like, these are the issues that women are facing in the tech field, because they have a lot of things that they have to manage: their personal life, their professional life, and it's a big juggle, because we all know, like, when you're married or you have kids, and then this is something that women, which which can kind of take back or prevent women from coming forward, because uh, technology and being on the leadership role demands a lot from you, and you have to devote a lot of time into this space if you're especially in the leadership role. And especially security is a very sensitive thing, because you'll have to be there addressing each and everything in an organization. So for that, being dedicated is to that particular role is very important. But it's as women, we are born with inborn multitasking capabilities. So it's nothing that we do not have in us, because Indian if you look into the past, most of the warriors, you could see, like, women were there in forefront, so they have the capability there in them. And they have a lot of people who like went abroad, like in when like girls weren't even allowed to have an education beyond a certain point, but there were people who proved that they could manage a family and like maybe 10 kids or so, and still go abroad and study and pursue what they wanted to do, maybe in the field of engineering, medicine, and still be pioneers in that field. And we have many researchers and great leaders who have set the example for us. So I would request all the women to break down all the barriers that are there in front of them. It's only you who can actually come out of that barrier yourself. It's not that you can expect anybody else from outside to motivate you and say that you have it in you, because you have to believe it, that you have it in yourself. Then I don't think anything else in the world can block you from coming out of that shell. And it's very important to do that.
Thank you so much, Lakshmi. It was really enlightening. So, Pratibha, coming to you now.
Thank you.
Uh,
I'm really
in
sorry
the
for what happened.
no, no.
Can you guys hear
So
me
in the
now?
last year session, we were yeah. We're glad to have you again. You were a veteran here, I guess, because last year also we had you here. And as last year session I was going through, and you once suggested that you said that when you had your kid, you faced some stereotypes, dialogues from the society, from your colleagues, and all. Have you seen any in the last 1 year? Have you any change? Have you seen a change in them and their mentality and in your colleagues and all? You
So
have obviously
it
motivated,
was it
yes,
was
everyone.
earlier, like so
Yeah,
I started with my own this entrepreneurship journey in last 4 years, 4 years back, right? So before these 4 years, right, when I started with my journey, at that time I was facing not facing issue within myself, but I'll say rather from the friends or from the family, that your kid is growing up and how will you manage? This is not the age, and
yeah,
being a female, it will be difficult for you and all those things, right? But I think ever since I have done, we have started with this journey with Secura, I don't think I have had any personal issues, to be honest, right? I don't think I have faced any problems when it comes to giving time to my kid or my family or to my work is concerned, right? Because see, when you're into cybersecurity or in any domain as a female, right? So it doesn't matter on what's running in the background, because what you're doing at that moment is very important, right? So because you are passionate about your work, you are very confident about what you think is right, and then there is a supportive, maybe you don't need a lot of friends who are supporting you, or everybody in your family supporting you. Even if your husband or somebody in your family or a few of your friends are even supporting you, they're there to listen to your stories once in a while, because in any kind of entrepreneurship journey, all you need sometimes is an ear to listen to, right? So you have to have somebody to uh, uh, to put your crying shoulders on, right? So at that times it happens, right? Because you definitely need someone to be to help you, and you're obviously supposed to delegate your work to your team members, to your peers, or to you obviously cannot do, you're not a nobody in the world is actually a superwoman or superman, but everybody is a superman and a superwoman, right? Everybody among us is a superhuman being. So all we need to do is, and I mean, I personally don't think it's about being a female or being a male. If you like your work, irrespective of being a gender specific thing, then it's it's easier for you to conclude your work, because you're passionate about your work, right? And you love what you do. So till the time you're focused on your customers, you're focused on your releases, your deliveries, or your the bugs that are there running in the background, or what is it that you need to work, right? So for example, when we started with Secura sets for it's a SOAR platform, and it's for an orchestration and automation response. It's basically made up for the SOC journey, but to make the life of a SOC analyst easier, right? So till the time I am in this, I am running this business, till the time I think that I will, I should do something to make, because my motto was initially was to make somebody's life easier by automating things, right? By ensuring that whatever he's doing in and out manually, I need to do something which can be easily automated. It should look beautiful when he's looking at my tool and using the tool that we have configured, right? So till the time this, I'm okay with what I'm building. I have full confidence on what I'm building is correct. I think it's pretty easier. Okay, I'm not saying that it's not easy. You have to be, you have to be very thoughtful here in the mind, right? You have to be very strong here first, right? And only when you're strong here, uh, uh, then I think things settle down on their own. That's what I have, learned in the last 4 years, that if you are mentally strong, in the sense that if you are not just strong, and by strong doesn't mean that you have to be very harsh or rude or arrogant or stubborn. It just means that if you really believe what you think is what you're doing is right, then you will find ways to deliver on both the sides, on personal front as well on the professional side as well, right? And there is a something called as work-life balance. I don't think there is something which exists in the world which is called as work-life balance. There is no work-life balance. At times you will you will have problems, leakages from your work, and at times you will have problems at in your life also, right? So you have to ensure that it's just here, right? So if you're okay here, things fall down on their own. That's what I have learned in the 4 years. You have to just perseverance is the key, right? You have to keep doing it, right? You have to keep learning, keep motivating people around you, keep believing, and then just keep reinventing, right? So if you keep on reinventing in what you're doing, be it in your personal life or be it in professional life, as a female leader or as a male leader or just as a leader, right? You will, I think you can deliver much more if you're mentally strong.
That is very rightly said. This mentally strong mental awareness, mental health awareness is what
Mm.
we actually need nowadays. Because more than work life balance, if you're mentally strong, and I think women somewhere like here, we not just because of this, they are not mentally strong. We have so much of social stigma. We are taught from the childhood also, you don't have to do this, this is your boundaries, this is that your boundaries. So we have to come there, we have to overcome those boundaries, we have to be more strong. I'm not saying that men are born emotionally strong, but we are somehow molded into this thing, and we have to be more strong so that we can not break, and as you said that we don't need to be very harsh, we can do that just by being emotionally strong. And as Lakshmi also stated very lightly, we are born multitasker, we can do many things. So thank you so much. So Rupal, coming to you, what was your story? How did you uh, got this motivation to coming into cybersecurity field, and what was your motivation? What was
Well,
your story?
first of all, am I audible right now?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So thank you first of all for letting me hear, because I'm very new to this, like this entrepreneurship journey, the cybersecurity field. It's just been 10 months that I started my startup, and we've reached, like, we got incubated with DSCI and so much recognition we've achieved. And like honestly, it's very weird, or not say I'll not say weird, but it's very bizarre thing that happened with me, that my supporters throughout this journey was only the male population I have in my life. So it's like just the male population. Like they understand me so well, plus they motivate me to try new things. So
So is
a
it
similar thing.
because we lack of women in cybersecurity technology field, or they were there but they were not supporting you? Only men were there to support you, or it was the lack of women in the technology which you had in your field
No, it's not.
when you
It was
started?
not. No, it was not like there was lack of women in the technology field. It was just
They
that
were
there was.
there,
No, it was.
not as
Yeah,
supportive
they
as
were
men.
there. Yeah, so that's how men in my life, like, uh, I started this journey with my partner during the lockdown. So I'm currently a penultimate student of law from National Law University, just letting you know. So yeah, during the lockdown, we used to just have discussions, random conversations, and we were just feeling very free. Like we had nothing to do. Not even we had to study. Being very honest. So it was just that we used to just use Instagram and stuff, and we used to just read news and stuff. And then one day we were having this discussion that it was just him. I was talking to him, and he told me a few new things, and it was like I was having this normal discussion with my founder about how like COVID has reshaped everything, and by bringing about everything online and stuff, and how my father, and everybody in my family are facing problems like to use this technology and stuff. And so slowly we were discussing, and we used to list out what problems are we facing, and just the normal law student thing, that we used to find everything. Okay, there is theft happening, there is see, data is the new oil, right? So there's somewhere near, we were just moving around it, and we found it Simplify. Now, so Simplify basically, is a solution, like one-stop solution for the privacy policy and data security. So it helps startups and app developers to, it provides them privacy policy that is fully compliant with the law of the land. So it was some we came like we were discussing and stuff, and slowly I told this thing to my father that I'm participating in such competitions. There is this thing called DSCI. I got incubated with it and stuff, and he was very supportive. Like he is still very supportive. Like we have this thing that family support is important. Like I like his small gestures, how he posts stories, he reposts my achievements and stuff. Though it's like the family plus the friends that molds you to become like what I am now. Like I was the worst, to be honest. And I've like it's been 10 months, and it's like I realized personally that the see, you are not going to stay like current and grow. Like if you only if your only learning time is 9 to 5, that I've seen everywhere. So it's like and I understood this, that the cybersecurity space is too big. For me to understand, for me to learn 9 to 5 is not a thing. And like you have to be willing to dig and learn everything. So this was my small bit of experience. And I've lived, everybody was interested. Like they used to like, even women in my life were like very happy. Okay, you're doing something. Like you're doing something, and we're not even there. And I used to hear this a lot, but this was not the support that I needed. They were never very curious to know what I am doing and what I am willing to do and what are my thoughts on this. They were just like, "Huh, you were doing very nice, this, that, just normal comments," and they used to go. Maybe I'm not sure about the jealousy part that women have, but this was
I
the
think that
quality.
may not be the jealousy, but lack of awareness, I guess.
It's not
Uh,
awareness. It's like people in my field, should be aware, right? I've met women in the technology field who, one of my teammate is from technology, and she's doing so well because she's so motivating and so giving. Like she expects nothing, but she is so religious towards her work and everything. So I have met women like her also. But it's just that women around me in my college, my university, never. Till now, it's been too long now. So this is my
So
experience. I'm
what
being
should we
very,
do to
honest.
this aware thing for the among the women so that can participate equally and they can actually pull everyone, every other woman, and they can be happy and they can motivate and help each other to come and be a leader in cybersecurity, to gain knowledge, be
Every
aware.
See, I think if, I'm not sure like whether I'll be able to give this answer completely right or not, but it's just that I felt this thing that women are aware of the conscious discrimination. Like women discriminates women like from men in front of everybody, the society and everything. We everybody has discussed this thing ki, okay, women face a lot of social pressure, mental pressure, family pressure, whatever, XYZ pressures. Everybody knows them, but nobody knows what the unconscious discrimination, that if I am a I that I will do with myself. This is because of the societal norms that we in the society we live. It's just that we see, nobody feeds us that you should be like this, that you just see it and you learn it. So it's the unconscious discrimination I feel that women that women do with herself. This is what is making today women not aware with their capabilities, and why one of the reasons why women cannot support or show support to other women. So this is what I
Nice.
believe.
What do you want to say on this, Miss Lakshmi and Ma'am Pratibha?
Yeah, I mean, okay, she was talking about her perspective. Yeah, so I mean, people are different in their attitude, be it men or women, it's all about, being, now there's like a lot of competitive attitude and like many people, so that, who wants to be above on top of who else. So that is always there, that competition, the pressure, if you're, especially if you're in the same, space, then that is always there. But personally, my perspective is like, you're all in this business together. So whatever in your capabilities, if you can help a buddy startup or so, I mean, I would always try to do that, like, whatever assistance or something they would need, like, be it like a male co-founder or a female co-founder. Yes, but yeah, female co-founders are kind of rare in this space, but it's all about helping each other and growing as a part of ecosystem. Like, because Indian, as an Indian, in the Indian industry, there aren't too many product cybersecurity companies in this, and it's high time, being, like a huge technology growing company. It's like it requires a lot of effort on the cybersecurity part, rather than just depending on the foreign players. So there has to be. I mean, the market that we are dealing with, the total addressable market is like around 20 billion. So, and it's like it lies like nearly untapped. And we so it's irrespective of men or women, everybody has to step into such fields. So as Ms. Pratibha told, it's all about how much you are liking the profession. It's all about passion. So if you're passionate about being in the cybersecurity field, you should definitely come out. There are a lot of tools that can help you learn whatever skills that you need. There are a lot of certification programs, because nowadays everything is online. You get everything, anything and everything that you ask for, you get it. Whatever trainings you want, whatever certifications that you want to go for, or whoever you want to have as mentor. So we are really grateful to DSEI and NCOE. It's like, they're introducing us to many mentors, like from the US or other markets, and also with other, helping us be part of events. So all of this kind of exposes. So it's all about breaking your own inhibitions, and going out there, meeting new people, networking with them, and gaining their experience, whatever they've got, had the do's and the don'ts and the reasons for their failure, their successes, learning from them. And everybody has their own story, and there's something that everybody can contribute to us in smaller way or bigger ways. So it's very important to learn from them. And talking about profes, like, we kind of try to be very supportive. I've always had this vision, like, there should be some IT industry that's like very supportive of women, because, whenever they go for a maternity leave or so. I mean, we find that, being in the technology space for more than a decade, we see that even during interviews, or if it's a female candidate, okay, she's going to get married. Okay, they'll ask, are you having plans to get married soon? So then then you go down. Okay, so you go down their priority list. So if she's newly married, okay, she's going to go for her maternity leave. So these are the concerns, people have. But uh, in our org, what we do is, we try to be a little more understanding. We try to understand what the issues they're going through, the mental pressure or whatever, and we try to be more supportive. And the kind of the efforts they're putting in because of the support that we offer them is really nice. I mean, it's really nice to see the amount of dedication. Even the female the team that we have, they're very super good, I would say, like, be it in the field of marketing, sales, or even development. The women counterparts in women colleagues that I have, they're really supportive, and we also kind of try to give in our best to support them in whatever stages, whatever personal issues they might be going through. Like we've supported to them in whatever possible way that we can. So this is something that everybody should try to inculcate into the corporate culture, so that it's a more women supportive environment that we create in the corporate culture. Because nowadays the whole perspective is changing in the corporate field. They're becoming more sensitive to women needs, whatever she needs. I mean, it's different. I mean, it's not that you have to go out of your way and make everything very easy, super easy for them, but try to be a little more sensitive and understand their pain points as well. Then that can actually bring out, and help them contribute more. So that is what we found with our the women employees that we have in our organization. So they put in that extra effort when they see that we are supporting them, in whatever possible space we can. That's what I would love to say. It's all about support and understanding them and being there for them.
Actually, it is. So, Pratibha, what do you think that you are in automation field and the world is getting automated today? So, as the technology is developing, new competitions are coming and new technologies are developing. So, what do you make a point that, how do you make it a point that you are at par with the developing technology? And this is the first question. And the second question will be that, do you find any difference in the gist of learning and the will of learning new technology and coming out with new ideas and technology between your male and female counterparts? Do you think that males are more into learning and getting into discovering new technologies and to learning to do things, or females are there, or is it equal? And what steps do you do to get fully updated with the technology?
So as far as being on update with the technology is concerned, right? Internet, Google, YouTube is full of, lectures. There are websites. There are many tools, Udemy, and all those things. Where there are ample amount of learning courses. You can learn about cybersecurity. There are 10 different domains under cybersecurity. And if I talk about cloud security, right, there are 10 different domains under cloud security also, right? You get to know, like, if you really want to learn cybersecurity, you first learn, if you want to really go into cloud security, you first understand what cloud security, what cybersecurity is, right? Then there are 10 lessons around cybersecurity. Once you are fully aware of what cybersecurity is, then obviously you can go ahead and you can learn about what are the different cloud platforms which are available. What is what is an on-prem, what is a non-cloud kind of a solution, what is an hybrid kind of a solution, and then how do you combine these two? And then there is around, once you are deployed, once your application is on cloud, on-prem, or in a hybrid environment, how would you provide security into it? Where would you deploy it? There are four different vendors around cloud platforms, and then there is security which can be applied, which needs to be implemented across different cloud security platforms as well, right? So as far as Secura's learning is concerned, we learn through first, there are what is there available in the market right now. That's the first thing that we do. Second thing is we go and speak with our customers, somebody who's already using a SOAR or who is our customer. And if I really want to upgrade my product to a certain level, I really need to go and talk to the person who is using it, right? So what is it that is missing in Secura? We go and talk to our customers, and then that is the second that's the second thing that we do. And then obviously we look into our competitive products, what are the technologies, what are the edges wherein we are missing, and then based on then there are certain advisors, a group of advisors that we are taking help from. So there are 3-4 different uh, ways in which we are trying to implement, upgrade, and then embed all those different security solutions and the upgrades which are available in market, and what is it that the customer requires, right? But as far as learning is concerned, I don't think learning is anything which is related to men or women or female or male, because internet doesn't know who is behind, who is using YouTube. Nobody knows who is using YouTube. YouTube is not biased towards a female user or a male user, right? And
Yeah, as in jest of learning, the curiosity. What do you find?
to be honest, as I think Rupal said, right? I think it's not in the nowadays. Okay, I'm just talking nowadays, and I'm talking about uh, the gentry of the people with whom I work with. At least with I work with, I'm not sure if I'm not talking about random people walking on the roadside, because that's an entire different thing, right? If you're walking somewhere, at least in the place where I stay in Noida or NCR region, if there are males, they're definitely going to scan you, no matter how you look like, no matter what your age is. If you are a female, you're going to be scanned, right? That's a entirely different topic, entirely different thing. But when it comes to being under technology, right? Being under cybersecurity, being under when you're a part of learning, I don't think there is any difference, right? If there is any difference that I have ever found, it's driven from your own mind. As Upal was saying, that we are not the males. I have not, I don't know, by God's grace, maybe. I have never been, told by any male friend of mine that since you are a female, you should not do this, right? Since you are a female, you should stop learning, or you cannot learn this because you are a female. I have, personally speaking, never heard any such comment from any of my male friends. Females might have said something, to a little bit upper or level, lesser scale to it, but it's all driven by your own learning, that what you have learned in your life, that what is it that a male is doing or what is it that a female is doing, and how do you learn from your, first from your family culture, then from your friends culture, then, even if you're going, I'll give you a very small example, right? You're going out, uh, say you're going out for a morning walk, right? You are in a very good amazing park, and then there you see that there are females working out, there are males working out. Female is running and the male is running. A male is, a male and female who are, it's genetics, right? So a male, generally the males are on a they have a better height than the female, right? So obviously they will learn faster. It does not mean that women cannot run faster, right? But it depends on how you see them. It depends how you know what are you trying to get out of what is your environment. So even if it is in your family that, if female is, there is some kind of, biasing which is happening towards female, it is all up to you, right? I'll again say, it is all up to you whether you want to take it as a positive bias or as a negative bias. What you can do is say, if I had come up from a background where males do not enter into the kitchen, just a very small example, right? Then it's up to me to understand, okay, he will not enter into the kitchen, or it is up to me to ensure that, my son or my husband, they should not get into these type of things, right? Similarly, when it comes to learning, I have never seen, to be honest, I have never made any point also in my team that there's a 40-60 kind of a ratio. I'm not saying that I have a 50-50 ratio for male and female. There's a 40-60 kind of a ratio, but I don't give my work, I don't assign the work depending on whether I'm giving the work to a female employee or to a male employee. He or she is a resource for me. It is not a, I mean, I don't assign a work considering, okay, she's a female, she cannot work on the weekends, and he's a male, so he can work on the weekends. If there is work, if there is a delivery that has to be done, no matter of, doesn't matter whether you're male or a female, or you're married or you're not married, or you have kids or not kids, you have to finish it. That means you have to finish it, right? So it's, I don't, I mean, I don't think males nowadays, they will never. I don't think, I've never, experienced this as well. That males do not, a male will never, say to you that since you're a female, that's why you cannot learn cloud security, or you cannot understand what lambda is, what AWS lambda is, or how a firewall will work. He will never say that to you, right? It's your inner, inner biased, inner indiscrimination which comes, oh my God, whether I will be able to learn this or not, or whether I will be able to work at night or not. It's just here, right? So I don't think it is any such discrimination now exists, at least in the technical world.
Very rightly said. What is up to you, Rupal? As an privacy field, we have seen that India is yet to discover and make more laws and for this privacy thing. What is, as you have entered new here, you must have done a lot of research in this thing. So where do you think India is standing here?
Currently, see, to answer your question, Niharika, we do not have any, law of the land related to privacy. We just go via to the GDPR, and then we come back to the IT Act, which is the Information Technology Act, which was again enacted in 2000. So it's just that we just have these two things, and actually it's now, post-pandemic, as we all know, cybersecurity has become, a grave issue. So now, in the post-pandemic corporate landscape, everybody in India at least, we have so many startups emerging. So we have so many startups emerging. People are, becoming technology aware since everything got shifted to online, plus everything like be it normal jobs, who used to just go to their office and 9 to 5 days to work on their system. Now they are just now they don't they are there's no requirement of going to the office, and they can work, they can work from anywhere they are. So like see, work from home also suddenly went, from being an exception to being just like, it's to being a norm, like it's like very common. So it's the need of the hour that people in India should understand, and we should at least. I'm not think. See, India is not even planning to have this. I personally believe to have this law related to privacy, data protection, and stuff, because for that you need to be aware. You should have knowledge, and people here are not. They don't consider such privacy and data related problems to be a major issue unless they face
That is
anything.
that
Like,
is where we are lacking. And basically, for cybersecurity as a field, as a thing, we need a lot of awareness. We need a lot of
hmm,
awareness. That is what I wanted
exactly.
to discuss. That how to come here, how to progress in the
People
awareness
in
thing,
India,
and
see, people in India have this thing, and if they need, everybody wants to have the first-hand experience. Otherwise, they will not even come up with this thing. Ki, okay, this is a problem that exists. And because I faced it, and so now I understand there is a requirement. Everybody should have this first-hand experience in India because people here are, have this thing कि जुगाड़ कर लेंगे, कुछ भी हो जाएगा. Everybody wants like किसी का भी, let's say, I'm taking an example. Let's say I made an app, right? And it has a good user base. Let's say, be it Grammarly, be it any plagiarism checker app. Everybody, no, in educational institutions, everybody should provide it. But what students are doing, they're downloading its APK, the free version of it, and जुगाड़ कर लेंगे. They'll not invest their mind. They'll not use their mind. They'll not use money. They don't want to invest in it. They don't want to waste the time. So this is the thing with the Indian population, that at least they should understand, they should be aware why is it important. Nobody wants to know anything. It's just that बस चल रहा है. It's that चल रहा है, जब तक चल रहा है तब तक ठीक है. This is the problem that India has personally. And to add on to Pratibha ma'am's experiences at the example she was sharing. So initially we've seen uh, in our households only that if see everybody uses phone now. Phone these days, mummy, papa, dada, dadi, grandparents, anyone. So if they face any sort of, problem, like let's say I'm not able to upload this, I'm not able to delete, my phone's memory is full. So they'll not call their daughter. They'll say, "Ki, I'll just see," they'll not call their daughter, "You just check my phone." It's just normal nourishing that we have seen that कि भैया देख लेगा या मेरा, they'll call their son कि तू मेरे जरा फोन देख लेना. Even if you see there are few ads, I'm not वो इतना they're not very this male centric ads I'm not talking. They're just random ads. In that also you'll see that the mother goes to her son and then she asks कि okay, please just download this XYZ app on my phone and then let me teach how to use it. Why not the daughter? Why not the daughter? So, but in my experience, for my, uh, this, in my experience, I've seen that everybody in my house comes to me. Before I started this, even since then, everybody used to come to me. So this is one of the experiences I have felt that happens in every household in India, and I guess maybe outside also. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
and about the
lovely. That is
unconscious
really good now.
discrimination.
That is a plus point, and we are seeing actually a lot of development in the technology and the gender bias thing here. Lakshmi ma'am, you have to say something on this.
Yeah, so it
Your
is really there.
experience.
Yeah, I mean, as
Have you
Pupil was,
ever been in a recruitment uh, thing where you found that any male counterpart is thinking that she's married or not, and she's about to take a maternal leave? Have you been there? What was your response, reaction to that?
yeah,
Have you?
so yes, am I audible?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yes, obviously, while recruiting, we conduct recruitments for sales, tech, and all of marketing and all of that. But what we look into is mainly their talent. Okay, it's not about their degrees, or it's not about whether they are male or female. It all boils down to their talent and their passion. Okay, so and especially make people work for a startup, and try to make them understand what is the benefit they're going to get in the longer run is a little difficult, because people they might go for the big logos. They just might be knowing because they pay them well, or something like that. So people who are just freshly out of college, they have like a lot of curiosity, and they have a lot of energy in them. They just want to be there in the big big industries and the big companies. So when it comes to hiring, this is the first challenge that you may face. Okay, being a startup. Okay, so it's like you have to explain, especially in the security field, where the awareness, you'll have to create the awareness first. Okay, so because that we are dealing with something really serious. It's not like it's not an e-commerce platform, or it's not like a media entertainment, or it's not like any other platform. This is something that you need to be very passionate about. Even if you're in the marketing, sales, or tech, you have to be equally, but equally passionate about it. If you're in the sales, it's our product you cannot sell without having a technical idea about it. So it has to be techno sales, or it has to be techno marketing. So the people that whom we hire should equally know what technology is. So we look more into, like, will they have an engineering background, or even if they don't have it, do you have that the willingness to learn? Because we've hired people even from the FMCG background, or even from various other BCom, we all the other platforms. It's just that but they've done exceptionally well. They've started working with us, and they've done their own homework, or they've done their own researches, and they became like equally good as they kind of know the international competition field that we are into. So as a matter of fact, it all comes to about how much of willingness and the passion you have to learn this up. Yeah, it's there that women maybe like the education mindset is like they try, many of them try to just mug things up, just to be toppers in the universities and stuff. They might not be very curious about how the underlying technology works, or what is it, because men they think differently, and female mindsets is different. Female mindsets can be very creative. Men mindset would be more into the engineering part. So we try to utilize the creative mindsets of the female counterparts, by putting them more into the marketing, or the sales. I mean, wherein they can come up with newer versions, because nowadays if you're into the tech space, it's not just good enough to have a very good technically outstanding product with you. It's the best. I mean, the main part of it is to get that into the market, and especially into the we are dealing with a global market, it's not the Indian market. So it's very important to come out with innovative ideas to how to brand it, how to take it out into a newer a newer country or something. For all of this we need creativity, which I feel my the ladies in my team, they do it really exceptionally well. They come up with creative ideas. So that is something that I'm really lucky enough to have them on my team. So I feel you guys, these ideas are amazing. I mean, it's basically because they're very creative. Women are very creative in that way. So it's all about whatever you do or whatever you're in, it's about giving your best. So it's not that you will have to know everything. I mean, whatever you know or whatever you're good in, it's just that you have to give in your best. And it's our responsibility, being in the leadership role, to find out who is good in what. Some people may be good in sales, or some people may be really good in technical. Some people may be in marketing and in different, or dealing with the financials. Nowadays, there's no distinction that okay, women cannot actually deal with the financials. In earlier, it was like they don't look into the financials. Only their husbands, they leave everything to their husbands, so they don't know finances or stuff. But now you find lady CFOs, or everything has changed. Like you cannot differentiate who's good in what. It's all about getting to know them, what they're good at, and putting them into the right roles, so that you can bring the best out of them. And if you feel that some people don't fit into some of it, maybe you can shift them, give them a better whatever you find. You can try to find what they're really good in. And you always have, like, startups. In a startup you find people doing all the roles. It's about a team activity, and it's not about men, women. I mean, we all work in it as together in the same ecosystem, and whatever somebody cannot contribute, the other kind of try to help them. So if you're going for events, we see that like if there are issues, like our the guys in our team, they ensure that the ladies who they're in the events, like late night, they ensure that they're safe, they're taken home safe, or they're they make them stay in a very safe place, and then go back once the event is done. So all of this has to be taken care, as these are things that can add to the culture of a corporate environment. Yeah, so that's what I think.
Pratibha, do you want to throw some light on this creative mindset and technical mindset? What was your experience with this?
I think again, right? So maybe maybe if it comes to something like marketing, I'll say, right? marketing, or you know, probably sales also, I'll say, right? I think sales, sales doesn't need only being creative, to be honest. It needs to be, the salesperson has to be more aggressive as well, right? So if you have, again, if you have a
Do we need to
mindset wherein
generalize that this mindset is gender
I
wise, or I think that
I don't
Lakshmi, as
know.
Lakshmi said, that it is
No, I don't
what are
think
the female
so.
needs and all.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So I don't think so, because again, it comes from, from the roots. If you have, I've seen boys, doing amazing, work in not just being technical. And so I'm not saying that they're best chefs, but then they're good technically also, and then they cook amazing food also, and then they are very creative in finding out new ideas. Or so for example, in my team, uh, I have a specific UI team, right? So the UI engineers that I have, they're mostly guys. And sometimes the beauty that they add to the product in the dashboards, in the reports, or in the widgets, it's simply awesome, right? uh, I would not have, at least sometimes sort of, I just tell them that this is what I need, this is how it should look like. And then once whatever they do on top of what is being told, right, is that is something which I think is being more creative, right? And as far as the technical superiority is concerned, I have a certain females in my team who are technically too good. They are brilliant technically, right? So again, maybe maybe I am somebody who is dealing with a very good set of people, I'll say, right? Again, right? So maybe I'm
But
dealing with a very.
is it like just now you're dealing with them, or from the starting of your career you have always been so lucky?
I
because
think
because
I've been so.
every now and then we come to not in generally in our life, but also in the news you get to hear the partiality or the problems which women are facing, and you've been in the
Professionally,
field for so many.
professionally, I will be very honest. Professionally, it's been around, I started working in the year 2002. All right. It's more than 22 years now. And professionally speaking, I have never felt any biased in being a female or a male. The only thing that was done specially for me was when I come late from my office, say if it is beyond 8 o'clock or beyond 9 o'clock, there were times that I used to sit in office till 11 o'clock. At that time, I will have, while I'm driving, I will have somebody from my team who will be driving, behind me, just to ensure that I'm reaching home safely, right? That those are the things that have been done, all right. But and then on festivals, people ask me to, dress properly and wear, this ethnic dress. And those are the only things, right? One was around the safety, obviously, because safety is, which is very important, right?
This
So
corporate
after
biases, Lakshmi Prabhupal, have you faced?
Corporate
uh,
bias.
yeah, as a colleague or as a businesswoman, something.
So, Rupali, would you want to take it?
Lost.
right.
Okay.
From
So
your
maybe I can just give my views.
yeah.
Yeah, she's back. Yeah. Yes, Rupali.
Yeah, since I already told you, I've not been in this field much, so I'll not speak about I don't know much about the corporate sector plus the business. I haven't faced this very much, but yeah, but I personally feel that women are very important for for this corporate sector to work perfectly, since as I've seen that they should be balance in everything. So to keep the balance as in like see, as Lakshmi ma'am said about the creative thinking and the technology wala part, but which was contradicted by Pratibha ma'am's experience. But I would personally say that my experience was till now was similar to Pratibha ma'am's experience. Maybe I am lucky also like her. Maybe I'm
Beginners.
lucky like her. So this is what I personally felt that till now I was like considered more than the men in my back men with the men around me. And I was
It all
preferred
I think it
over
all
them.
depends on how do you treat yourself, right?
Exactly.
If you, right? So if you want to be given special experience or, if you want to be given lesser work, irrespective of being a female or a male, and then on top of it, if you're a female, and then if you expect less work, then obviously certain biasing will be there, right? But then if you yourself are not considering to be lesser than a female who is sitting working with you or lesser than a male who is working with you, I don't think technically or in your professional lives you should have any problems. I'm not saying that gender biasing does not exist. Maybe it exists in the corporate world, but I have been, in the last 22 years, I've never faced any of my, even if my seniors were there, they were never,
See,
patient
these things
or
also should come in limelight, because keep on hearing these negative thoughts, the gender biases is there, this happened, that happened. I think in news we
yes.
should also get these examples like Pratibha and Rupa, like, yeah, we have men who are good. Like in 22 years, 2 decades is a long time.
And you will not believe, Niharika, but then there were times when one of my ex-bosses used to say, if there was something that I'll say to him that this is a work that I cannot do, then in fact, he will not say that you are a female, that's why you can do it, or you are a male, that's why you cannot do it. He will say that you are Pratibha Malik, that's why you can do it, right? So it was never there. Luckily, it was never there.
And yeah, and it's like since everybody knows about the corporate world that the terms that are used to, for the person who's working, it's like the employee and the employer who employer is the one who is hiring. These words are gender neutral. So you cannot just say ki, just because I am a female person working at your firm and I will be called as the female employer, called that female employer, called that she's my employee. It's just the employee. So everybody should understand it that it should not, affect whether the employer is a male or a female or the employee working is a male or a female. You are an employee. It's your job. You have to do. You've been hired for it. It's just simple.
This question we
Yeah.
have from ARP Dubey, I guess. Dub, ARP Dub. What all ways we can see ourselves in cyber? Lakshmi, would
In
you like to go first?
sorry, what
Cyber.
all ways?
We can see ourselves in cybersecurity. Maybe you wanted to say.
What all ways we can see
Yeah.
yourself? I
I didn't
mean,
get it.
yeah, that's what
Maybe
it
I
is.
could answer it in one thing, in one sentence. Maybe it's just one essential trait that one needs to understand. It's like the career long learning. That it's an essential trait for one, like for this person who wants to enter this ever evolving, like always evolving domain, and this thing needs to be accepted. Like whoever wants to be in this field, like it's
So I
too
guess,
evolving.
yeah, I guess like if he's trying to understand, what all ways you can be in cyber, if it's like with
Like
respect to the
cybersecurity.
professional growth, like you can start as a DevOps engineer, then you can go into the cloud engineering field. I mean, into application
Yes,
security or
yes.
all of those things.
Lot of thing we have
Yeah,
to do with
I mean, there's a
digital
lot of
certificate.
scope for cybersecurity these days because now it's
And
the
now
most
I mean,
trending.
many colleges and institutes they have actually started
Yes,
Yes, yes,
cybersecurity
cybersecurity
courses. Yes,
focused
right, right.
courses and all.
masters and everything. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like becoming the
So
need
this
of the hour.
domain Yeah, this domain has too many subdomains as well. So people should start exploring, reading about them, and
Right.
just know where they want to be. They want to see themselves.
So I
And
think we are
basically, it's like a domain that you can see yourself growing really well. So, if, like, be it your, I mean, if you're women or a men, like, there's a lot of growth potential in this domain. I mean, because it is like like even I was told by one of the mentors, like even if recession hits, cybersecurity will be
This
an
was
area
going
which
to be
will
my
never be hit. It will never
so
be hit because that's the most prioritized domain.
yeah, with the recession so much in news these days. I just one. My next question was that where do you see cybersecurity in next 5 years?
It's growing, it's booming. I mean, yeah. So even the WAF industry is expected to hit like more than 20 billion,
Right.
growth rate. So it's like one of the most fastly growing domains. So this is the right time if you want to switch careers, or if you thinking about starting a career. If you have some passion about for security, and like for securing data and all of that, especially in India, this is like need of the hour, because as the data protection laws still not come into, I mean, into that's still not been defined here, but it's high time it was, which is giving priority for indigenous companies to protect the data of the country within the country itself by indigenous players. But so if that has to happen in India with a population of billions, it's high time that every college, university, everybody start educating the students about cybersecurity, because the awareness is very low here. When we started the startup, when I know, because we started our web application firewall on the microservice part, which is it's like the future technology, but nobody has even heard of Kubernetes or anything of that sort. And about cybersecurity, if it's as like, okay, we would be securing your applications with our web application firewall, they would say, yes, we're already secure, we have a network firewall. So that is something that people don't differentiate among what is a network firewall or what is a web application firewall. How is it different? And nowadays more than 80% of all the attacks happening through the web interfaces, because that is what is open to the entire world, and you're getting your customers through that, right? You cannot block any of it. It's very important to secure that. So that is why cyber security is becoming very the need of the hour, and people generally have to increase their awareness level, especially in the organizations. Like we have this awareness created for the employees, while they open their, because their internal attacks are going, phishing and spamming, and all of that. It's like you have to be very cautious about each and every step that you take, because your digital footprint is like so that you have to be very cautious while you're opening a mail. If you're checking, clicking on a link, every time you have to stop and think, is this link really needed for me to open, or why, or should I simply ignore it? Because even an employee opening a mail, just being careless, can actually lead to the entire organization being breached. So that is how serious it is. And then if you're into insurance or fintech, like that it can pull down the operations for even 6 months or so. And it's not about the financial damage that actually happens, it's more about the operational, the issues that you're going to face. This is like a very important thing that we are dealing with. It's a very sensitive area, and I'm sure, like like more people coming into this, we have to, it's encourage more people to come into this field.
Thank you so much, Lakshmi. Thank you. Pratibha. Do you want to give some last minute points, Rupal? Because we are actually running out of time. We are late.
No, that's fine. Actually, I actually already answered a few part of the question, like few part of the answer that was for the question that was asked. So I guess I'm done. I'm
Any
not sure.
last
I
closing
actually,
points?
it's like I had a very new. This was my first experience as a panel discussion, and so I was not sure what to say and what not to. So if like I just want to say that I was very honest with my experiences and my answers. I hope I had satisfied the people who are viewing, and plus the other panelists, co-panelists, Pratibha ma'am and Lakshmi ma'am, plus Harika. So it was wonderful having this experience with you. So thank you so much for this
Thank you so much. Pratibha, ma'am,
opportunity.
closing points from you.
I just enjoyed the session talking with Rupal. I'm really happy that people, the kids at this young age are turning into entrepreneurs. So I'm really happy to see young female kids, to be honest. And I really liked what Lakshmi is building out. All right, and it's not an easy thing to have a startup inside, in India who is doing so many things into cloud security using Kubernetes and all those things, right? So as she rightly said, it is not just cloud security or the cyber security. If you can dig deep, it's a 20,000 deep, 20,000 meter deep ocean, right? So there is application security, network security, and then cloud security, and then inside cloud security there are application security, network security, firewall security, and all those things, right? So there is LAN, WAN, MAN. There's so many things that needs to be secured, right? There is data that needs to be secured. There are users that needs to be secured. So security at rest, security at security at a speed. So you need to ensure if somebody wants. And again, it's not a respective of any gender, male or female, but then anybody who wants to enter into cybersecurity, I'll say that once you are into cybersecurity, say for 10 to 12 months, then you start enjoying, the whole learning, the whole learning process, right? Be into cloud security, be into firewall security, be into web application security, or any testing, or any DevOps, or any pen test kind of a thing, right? There's so many things. There are more than 100 things that you can do into cybersecurity. So the people who are watching this session, I would recommend them to, just start reading something around security, and and just start learning something into cybersecurity, because the world is moving into cybersecurity more now, and cybersecurity is the next, the moving, the thing which will generate a lot of finance and generate a lot of business around its own domain, right? It's not a new tech right now, but then it's a booming tech. So I'll say people to read more and learn more, and then reinvent and invent things as as we grow.
Yes, definitely. So
Thank
it's
you so
not that
much,
you have to
Rupa.
build something new. Whatever is still there, you can
Yes,
always,
things there, you just have to
build up
integrate
more on
them,
that.
right?
Yes, yes. So that is something. So even I would love to extend my thanks for bringing me here. So even I enjoy the talk and discussions with Niharika and Pratibha and Rupal. So Rupal, good luck to you. So it's very good to see young entrepreneurs coming into the space. So it's really encouraging. And what I would request is more of such Rupals coming into picture, and taking an interest in security, because it's like a very good space to be in. It's a
Right.
very good thing that where you can make a difference because you're securing something. So that makes a very big difference to you are contributing a lot. So that's something that you can really take it seriously and come to this field.
Rightly said,
And we
Lakshmi.
are all, open hands to, welcome you to the space. Whatever help or support that you would need, you can always reach out to us through our LinkedIn handles or anything, be it job opportunities or assistance or support or advices. And I'm sure Pratibha, I mean, she's going to add a lot because she's got more than 2 decades of experience into this field. So it's all, we're all in the right space, and we're all there to support you.
Thank you so much, Lakshmi, Pratibha, and Rupa. And well, I hope, irrespective of your experience with the women here, I hope you'll get to encourage and lend your helping hands to
Thank
the
you.
coming generation. Thank you so much, and
Okay,
Thank
a
you.
very happy and
Thank
great
you.
Diwali to you.
Enjoyed it.
Thank you.
So happy Diwali to
okay.
all.
Happy Diwali, all of you.
Happy
Yeah.
Diwali.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.